All right, a little post-race week update. Trans is toast. So I have the car up on jack stands, started removing the trans. Also going to probably take out the engine too. I have a buddy that's interested in the iron block stroker, and instead, one of those, probably that one, which is a Gen 3 motor with Gen 4 internals, and that's Gen 4, Gen 4. Gonna probably save that one for doing rods and piston deal, but thinking about stock bottom end, put that in and run it for the rest of the year. Let's see, that's about it there. I have these little bitty tires on yet. Those need to be taken off and swapped to some 28 10.5s. And also made some space in the garage so we can get Micah's car in. The fun of wiring on that. I am not a fan of wiring, especially I have to make a full harness for an MS3 Pro ECU. They don't have a plug and play or drop on harness, so I have the universal dealio, and then we have some 650, 680 cc injectors for pump gas, just some random leftover stuff that I had, and new fuel stuff, GM intake temp sensor, bunch of relays. So again, I'm not looking forward to that. So I'm gonna take my time, probably make some mistakes, but we'll get that going. He's chomping at the bit, and that's just gonna be, it's a 7-bolt stock bottom end, stock whatever, stock everything, 4G63 with an all-wheel drive automatic. And the only real upgrades will be, it has a 16G turbo on it, and then it'll have a bigger fuel pump and fuel injectors. That's it. So just a little update.
Yeah, we're getting the tent spot ready.
Yeah, flattening it out.
Yeah, it was really hilly.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Make it a little softer.
It was right up here. It was really hilly. Whoa, the way the sun shines on the dirt in the video, it looks like pink.
Flatter than it was.
Yeah, and a lot softer. Oh, I should have worn my FamilyMan racing shirt with you, Dad.
I guess we're not doing any racing.
True.
FamilyMan camping. We're not as impressive as those late night YouTube videos of those guys from Malaysia or whatever they're from that build those pools and...
Oh yeah, no. They do that in about 3 days.
Yeah.
However, well, this took us a week. For us.
Sweet.
I tried doing a little bit of it right in there, but I was doing nothing.
Ow. You didn't have enough weight.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was trying to lean up against it. Yeah, it just wasn't working.
I'm gonna put the tent back on.
It's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It ended up much flatter. You guys probably can't tell it all, but it is.
Way softer and flatter.
There we go. Marcus approved.
know it's good.
We'll end on that. Take us through.
So, in our last video,
What's the same video?
well, same video, but the way we're gonna put it together. We're coming back with a bigger fire.
The fire's not going to be there. It's going to be over
gonna
there.
be over there.
And we may move the tent.
But we have the tent set up. We may put it in a different spot because at first we were going to put it up here because we thought it was cool about the border. But then we changed our mind because it's softer down here.
We still may move it. It's easy. It's not staked down. There's no wind in the woods to worry about. We made a cool blind. Well, started to.
I found a little buddy. He wants to join us. It's a worm.
Nice. All right, you stay there. I'll show from down here. All right, there we go. Nice blind from below the hill. Marcus wants to get some green leaves and everything, branches to fill it in, but haven't done that yet. What's up, buddy? I can see you. You need more shrubbery.
Right here.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is an old tree stand.
Yeah.
That was falling down, so.
This is just like a deer stand, like part of an old deer stand.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure this is too.
Yeah, that was the platform of it. It's all just busted up.
Yeah.
We need a lot more.
There's a bunch of bird poop on this.
Need a lot more sticks on this side. All right, so hopefully we survive the night. I think we're good. Just gonna wait for Mom and everybody else to come home. We'll start a very small fire and then sleep. It should be perfect weather. I don't know. It's like about 60 degrees right now. It should be mid to low 50s tonight, so nice and crisp. Hung up our little lantern.
Yeah, at first.
Got our little fire. Have some s'mores.
We used the bungee cord because first we were gonna put it on this low.
It's too low. Yeah, we brought it up.
And apparently the higher the better of lighting.
All right, we're all packed up and Marcus is helping take some of our gear back home. All right, this episode of Family Man Racing, we're working on the 4G swap.
Woohoo!
Mike is excited, so we have a giant list of stuff to do, but we're gonna take it one step at a time. So we're gonna mount the battery here on the subframe right there. So in order to do that, I did it on my car. We cut a little piece of board and it gets it up over the transmission. We have, Marcus, can you point down here? This little fitting here.
Right there.
It's Radium is the brand, but it connects to the stock feed line, which is metric, and then this is -6. And then we're gonna take this to a fuel filter, and then to feed the rail. So we're gonna get all of this stuff, and then the return line from the fuel pressure regulator. We have an aftermarket dealio there. Get all of that. Once we do that, mount the battery so we can actually roll up and down the windows, air this thing out. And then probably the rear, gonna work on that because we have to gotta mount the 6-speed rear diff, put some axles in it, measure the drive shaft length, then wiring, which we're not gonna get to today. Got it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Howdy. So we have some used Precision 680 injectors. So be good for making some power on pump gas. Yep. Little WD-40 to help with putting them in. Oil works too.
So what are we supposed to be trying to do on this?
I'm going to, in theory, check to see if it has a fuel filter in it. This is the housing, and I bought it with a filter, but I never actually checked it just to make sure. So there we go.
Yeah, we were having trouble earlier because we were trying to, Dad was holding it and doing it, but that wasn't working, so we decided to put it on this.
I think I'm going to oil this when I put it back together.
Screeching.
There we go. So that is not what I ordered it with. Awesome. Thanks, Fuel Lab. So that's just a paper filter, which will actually be fine for pump gas, but we need a fiberglass filter for E85. So we'll do this for now, but
Until we get the
we don't have enough
other
fuel
one.
injector for E85, so this will be fine for now.
But once we get everything figured out and enough fuel line, then we should get the one that can hold E85.
Yeah.
See what's Micah doing.
There should be some bolts in there, buddy.
While Dad was doing that, Micah is over here looking for some parts. Okay.
Oh, you tell me?
Yeah.
These, I forgot about these. These are the plastic spacers for the injector. Fuel rail dealio. So now I need to find at least one more. 2 would be preferred. They should be in that box over there, but they're not. Hey, Micah, I found a bunch of them.
Alright.
Hopefully they're the same.
You should have some of them at least that are the same.
Yeah, so from the 6-cylinder stuff, the 6G72s and the 4G63 stuff, it all interchanges, so this are probably from some 6-cylinders. Now we got it. Let's try this again. What do we do with those bolts, Micah?
What bolts?
Bolts, not bullets.
No, I said bolts.
No. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. You recording, Micah?
No.
Snapping? You're just staying around while I do everything.
Hey, I'm
And
helping
I
a little
do
bit.
everything.
Oh. Oh, Micah, check it out. Oh, that's not gonna work. Never mind. I don't think.
I was gonna say, well, if that fits, then we're in luck.
No, it's not gonna fit. It'll fit there. Oh, no, that's too high. I gotta get it up above the battery.
Where does the battery even go?
Right here.
Hold on, where? Oh, Okay. Because you were pointing to that earlier, but I wasn't really sure if it was supposed to go above that or what. I mean, it is going to go above it because the board is going to be down there. Tricky, tricky, tricky.
Yeah. Micah, what did we all do? You want to start back here?
We put in the fuel pump and I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, fuel pump, stock one. We stuck the stock seat back there because he wanted a little more noise reduction instead of open metal. All right, come to the front. What did we do?
We hooked up the power steering lines and
True.
put power steering fluid in, and then we got the fuel lines and the injectors in and the
Fuel pressure regulator. But yeah, we can't really see them, but we made some custom fuel lines. And let's see, right there, some braided nylon deal. Not good for E85. They're just rubber with reinforced steel, reinforced stuff. So, but he's going to be running pump gas for a while. For E85 lines, I normally order pre-made ones from anplumbing.com. They have a lot of good fit, like any kind of a fitting or adapter you can think of. So there might be some places that are more cost effective, but these guys have everything. Been ordering from them for a few years. So not a paid plug. I get no discounts, but they will do like pretty much any size hydraulic line pre-made, and you can select the ends that you want, and they use the PFTE or PTFE, whatever, the stuff that's good for brake, E85, anything super high pressure lines. They test them beforehand, and so if we want to move the E85, it'll be super simple, is all we have to do is measure the feed line and then the return line, and then just order it. So that's it. Oh, you forgot. Everything's plumbed up here too. So radiators in, fans on, some just hoses that I had, probably from one of my 4G swaps. And then he's all worried about heat for the winter. So we have the heater core lines plumbed, and then went through and marked all of the wiring harness. This is the harness from the Talon that we junked for this motor and trans, and marked all of the plugs because we're actually going to keep this and then adapt the universal MS3 Pro harness to this, along with adding in relays and fuses and blah, blah, blah. So his job is to undo that, because there's a lot of ones that we marked with X that we don't need. So he's gonna have to strip that down this week after school. Cool. Nice work. Well, nice sitting there. Hey, Bubba. What are we doing today?
Oh, well, we're doing stuff with wiring.
Yep.
Trying to...
We're just testing wires. Marcus was helping me turn to accessory, to ignition, to starter, and there was a big mess of wiring down here. We ended up cutting it all out, and same this whole harness here, which we'll be adding our own. That's where our engine harness is going to go through, and have the battery in and mounted. Check, make sure the windows work, windshield wipers work, headlights work. What else do we check, Marcus? Oh, the blower fan works.
Oh, I was going to say, did you mention the windows?
I did. He was excited about that. And then the only thing I have to tap into here is for the starter signal wiring to the starter itself, and then the signal to the ECU. We have to tap in there. For some reason, it wasn't working. None of those were working, so that's all right. Oh, LS coils get mounted there somehow after I get all the others wires done, but I just wanted to check my old MSD wires worked, so that's cool. Getting there. Yeah, so the next step is to strip down the cut engine harness so we can tap into all that stuff with the universal MS3. All right, show our progress here. Got the intercooler mounted. This came off the Talon. Piping isn't going to fit perfect, so I'll have to mod some of that. I think it's just 2.5 inch diameter. Hopefully I have some, don't have to buy any, but got a coupler on here. It's just gonna shoot underneath, wrap around here, go in here, and then out through here, whoop, into throttle body, like that. Have some pieces that we're gonna reuse. So a little section here with a 1G DSM blow-off valve. And then, let's see. So I'm not sure if I showed this in the last clip, but LS coil packs probably sit there like that. And then we just took a bunch of wiring out, stripped the harness down. So it looks like a mess, but well, it is. This is all the wiring for the injectors, and then coil pack, and then cam sensor, stuff like that. So the injector and coil packs is actually pretty simple to wire, and we have some relays with built-in fuse, which is pretty cool. So I'm just like tying them together for now, and then I'll actually put crimps and everything on it, but this is just to get my brain right. So coil and injector is going to be harness tied in, just sending power to each of those, and then individual injector and coil packs, the ground goes to the ECU, which is somewhere in that mess. There's the two branches from the ECU. And then the fan, a little bit different, but not totally. But the grounds from the ECU will trigger the fan, whereas the injector and coil relays will be grounded all the time. And then fuel pump, same thing as the fan. The ECU will trigger that and then send a power wire to the back. And then I think, so this last one here, I think I'm going to use that for other accessories in the engine bay. And like, I'm pretty sure the cam sensor and crank sensor get 12 volt. I'm going to have to look that up. And then same for the coolant temp sensor. I think that's 12 volt, not 5 volt also. If so, I'll be able to power everything off of this, but I have to look it all up. That's about it. Oh, the idle air control valve. There's a lot going on with that. Lots of wires that I need to look up, and then the speed sensors down there. Just 3 wires, but again, need to look it all up. Pretty sure most of that is 12 volt, but could be wrong. And then the intake air temp right there. That might be ground, actually. Not sure. Like I said, the easy part is the individual injector and coils. Everything else I still need to look up and map out. But we're making some progress. Didn't really do a whole lot more in here. I did hook up the interior light switch that has a rheostat on it just to make sure his dash lights work, and they do, so that's perfect. he wanted the holes plugged in here. We have the AM wideband, and then just trying to figure out what to put in the others. So probably going to do coolant and voltage. Coolant temp, I won't be able to plug in off of the ECU, I don't think. So I'm going to have to get an auto meter or whatever brand that is. These came with the car, but not the sensors. And then voltage is obviously easy. So, so far everything's working. He's pretty happy. We do have another seat, so these are pretty sweet Sparco Evo Ls. It's just taken out to make it a little bit easier. And then just mess back here. Eventually all this will go back in. So I have a lot of research to do and just taking some notes on what all of this gets wired to. Oh yeah, the alternator one is one that freaks me out too. No idea what these 4, yeah, wires are for. I'm sure one of them's for a dash light, which don't really care about that. We'll figure it out. All right, piece together some cold side piping. Bit of a challenge because nothing I had was really the right size. So I think this is like 2 1/4. That was hair over 2. Some of the stuff on the bottom is 2. That's 2. When I was on the Talon, I used an exhaust spreader and spread that out, but I'm actually going to cut it back to 2-inch. And on the hot side, go 2 to like 2 1/4 using some stuff. But cold side is done. Bam.